What's going on, good people? It's Iceberg here. I hope you're enjoying your day. I've been outside working out in my backyard area. I've showed you an area before that I said I'm going to build a planter box in because it's kind of dead space in the backyard. So that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm going to flip the camera around, show you what I'm doing, and I'm going to take you along on the journey, show the process of me building it and everything. I don't know if I'm going to do it all today because we're later in the afternoon now. I just started on the project. I'm using kind of scrap wood pieces to kind of put it together, some of the frame of it and everything. So it's taking me a little bit of time to, kind of piece it together in my head how I want to do it. But I'm gonna flip it around, let you take a look. So if you've been out here with me in my garden, there's the garden up there. It's all up on the deck. You're familiar with all of that. So this post right here that, supports the upper deck area. And it goes down. So years and years ago, we built this bottom deck area to cover up the area down here. And you see it created this little dead space. This is way before we thought about gardening or anything like that. But we had this little kind of L-shaped dead space. So my plan is to build a little bed area in here. Because like I told you before, a garden bed is nothing more than a box or a container or whatever. So I'm gonna build me a little box to kind of consume this area, and then we can plant something there, whether it's flowers, vegetables, whatever it is. We'll have that space. We actually can use that space for something productive for us. So that's what we're going to be working on here. Let me come around this way, just give you this angle as well. So you can see all the way around. It's just a little bit of kind of dead space. It's I want to say it's about 16 inches from the ground, the cement pad down there, to the top of the deck. But I'm gonna build it a little bit taller so we don't have to bend over as much. Because like I said, I'm gonna make it like another raised bed, whether it's a flower bed or garden bed or whatever. So that's what we're doing here. I'll take you along for the journey. Let's get it done. All right, so now as you can see, I've taken some 2x4s and just laid them out to kind of make a frame. I left those gaps so I can get some airflow underneath, because I'm actually going to take a piece of plywood and lay it down flat to make my bottom. So I want to be able to get some airflow underneath the bed to keep it a raised bed. That'll keep it from the temperature and things like that. With the soil are regulated differently in a raised bed than they are if it's like in ground or touching the ground. So I want to keep that airflow and also keep it from being too moist underneath there the entire time. So I'll leave a gap there, and then I'll let another gap around on this side, just so I can get a little bit airflow going underneath it and around it. Give it some little crossways for the air to go through. So I'll tie this frame together. Still deciding how I'm gonna do it. I'll figure that out here shortly, but I'm gonna tie the frame together, put the plywood on it. Plywood on it will look something like this, and it'll be more over here. So then you'll see it starting to come together. Once I tie the plywood down to the frame, then all I have to do is build some sides on it and fill it with some dirt. Basically put the barrier, like the weed barrier stuff, I'll put that on the inside of it, that fabric barrier liner. I'll put that inside of it. We'll probably treat this whole thing with some linseed oil before we do any of that, but you see how quickly it all comes together. I've been, cutting my pieces without y'all watching, so it doesn't take very long to do. Let's get back to it. All right, just like that, we got a platform built. It's all screwed down. You see, it's all one piece. So there we go. We got our corner platform. Now all I got to do is build some sides on it. Put our fabric barrier in there. And add some soil. We'll be rocking and rolling. See how much clay helped. Yeah, not much help. It's all right though. We still got it done. Let's keep on going. All right, not so sure if you can tell, what I'm trying to show you here is a quick before and after, before I apply the linseed oil and after. So on this side, there's nothing applied. Ignore that black mark. This is just the raw wood, what it looks like. And over here, you see I've applied the linseed oil already. It's just a protectant. It's boiled linseed oil. Here's the bottle right here. So it's just a protectant. I use it on It's become my go-to on a lot of my outdoor wood products, or my outdoor wood projects. Just a protector for the wood. It doesn't turn in too much color or anything like that. That color right there that you see on it, that'll dry and it'll kind of go back to almost its natural color. I applied it on the bottom of the plywood as well on both of them. I did that before I started showing you, but like I said, you can see right there, this is the after picture with the linseed oil already applied. And over here, that's just the raw wood. So I apply that, I'll let that dry. I'm probably about to be wrapping up here after I apply the linseed oil on the other piece of wood. I'll probably be wrapping up here for the evening, so that'll dry overnight for me before I get back out here tomorrow and start putting the sides on the box. I'll put the fabric barrier down in there, put some soil in there, and we'll be planting something. So let me apply this other coat of linseed oil, clean up for the evening, and I'll probably get back at it tomorrow and try to get it wrapped up. So let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? It's Iceberg here. Day 2 of our build of our planter box around this little post that I have out back. So I'm going to flip the camera around, show you where we left off, and then I'll flip to the other camera so I can have my hands free, let y'all watch me do the work. I'll probably do some voiceover later, put some music over it or whatever, but let's flip it around and see what we got. So this is where we left off. I built a platform. I did the linseed oil on the platform. So you see it goes around the post, you know, kind of bends that corner and then goes that way. So what we're about to do now is build our sides on it. So I'll flip to the other camera, the GoPro. That'll free my hands up, and we're gonna put the sides on. I plan to use my end caps kind of to tie everything together so I don't have to put a whole bunch of bracing and support and stuff like that in there. I do have some braces that I'll probably use, but for the most part, it should all kind of support itself after it's all tied together. So let's put it together, see how it works. All right, I'll give you a little bit of voiceover. As you see, I have my platform there. I'm just getting ready to start building the sides on it. As you see, I'm showing you my 16 gauge nails that I'm using. So I'm just going to start to build the sides on it. I'll put on a little bit of music. One of my homies, he just dropped a new album. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out on all your different streaming services. Make sure you check it out. I'll put the info in the description and also the links to get to the album on the different streaming services and all of that stuff in the description. I'll also be throwing graphics up on the screen to advertise the tracks and the album, all of that good stuff. So make sure y'all go check it out, and let's get to some music.
Polaroid picture, the picture gets clearer when you waving your hands. Let's go, y'all. Polaroid picture, forever hip-hop, I got the mic in my hand. I do it from the heart, I do it from the soul. My era still got it, my era still cold. Polaroid picture, you got one shot. Forever hip-hop, I got the mic in my hand. Hey. Been living this dream full time for 30 years. The mic in my hand, that's right, I'm still here. Ain't going nowhere. T.O.P. hot flight, I'm in the air. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams. A whole lot of notebooks busting at the seams. If you got a dream, gotta have them win a team. And have them at the table like a Godfather scene. Built from the ground up, hold it with some beams. And make sure the basement is laced with the cream. Now that team rockin', rock this joint. Yeah, the beat knockin', clock them points. First up, turn it up, I think we got a hit. Lasky with the swag, with the soul black fist. Get the suit ready, my tuck's on lit. Damn, it feels good to drop a joint like this. Hey, Polaroid picture, the picture gets clearer when you waving your hands. Polaroid picture, forever hip-hop, I got the mic in my hand. I do it from the heart, I do it from the soul. My era still got it, my era still cold. Polaroid picture, you got one shot. Forever hip-hop, I got the mic in my hand. Hey, back in the day, it was all about the rhyme. Nowadays, it's all about the vibe. Never over vocals, my dude, we do it live. And when it comes to shows and vibes, we on the drive. The drive still's in me, I see a better vision. I'm looking in the mirror, I face the competition. I wanna be 24 codes, pay attention. There's something about the number 8, just sound a little different. Gifted with the lyrics, don't care about the art. I want a better wage, making money from the art. Darkness in your heart, let the Kyran be the spark. Keep my black thought when things fall apart. First up, turn it up, I know we gotta hit. Kimmy, put your feet up, and B, we got the rent. Slide where you at, throw that L up. Swag, keep digging, keep your head up. Hey, Polaroid picture, the picture gets clearer when you waving your hands. Polaroid picture, forever hip hop, I got the mic in my hand. I do it from the heart, I do it from the soul. My era still got it, my era still cold. Polaroid picture, you got one shot. Forever hip hop, I got the mic in my hand. Hey. Polaroid picture, the picture gets clearer when you waving your hands. Polaroid picture, forever hip hop, I got the mic in my hand. I do it from the heart, I do it from the soul. My era still got it, my era still cold. Polaroid picture, you got one shot. Forever hip hop, I got the mic in my hand. Hey. That's beautiful right there. Polaroid picture. Woo! Yeah, it's just a Polaroid picture.
Salute to the homie Kyran Scott. That's a Polaroid off of his new album just dropped this past week. Make sure y'all check that out on all your streaming services. I got some more coming from that album coming up here just in a moment. I just wanted to come back to you, let you know where I have going on. So that first piece that you saw me put on, it was an end cap. That's one of the pieces I'm using to kind of tie everything in together. So that first piece, it actually went all the way down to the bottom of the frame and connected down there as well. As you see, some of the side pieces I'm just putting on top of that bottom piece of plywood. So they're kind of tying into the sides, of the frame just at that 90-degree angle. And they're shooting those nails straight in at that 90-degree angle. So once it's all tied in together, it'll all kind of solidify. And it's going to be up in that corner. So that corner also help, everything stay solid and everything. So I'm not really too much concerned with any of that. So let's get back to some more music. Let's jump into this next joint from Kyran Scott. Y'all make sure y'all listen to these messages for this adult, grown folk hip hop.
And the school you have to realize too that it's not a question of what you like or what you're good at. There are requirements in the world that if you're going to build bridges across the river, you have to know a certain amount of math. If you don't want those cars to fall into the river as the bridge collapses.
Live and direct, Mr. Scott in your ears. Telling the truth, we badly volunteer. I don't care how you feel, homie, who is you? Class session, this that middle finger, you. This that middle finger, you. We on that middle finger, you. Graduated top of the class, respect due. Class session, this that middle finger, you. Semiotic, erotic, baby, it's all rhythm. I got it in my pocket and lock it, it's all venom. Thought pattering, scattering like a train. Derail your time stone, meta, we on the plane. Rappers getting mad, D-hop without the touches. Ink to the paper forever, just like the Duchess. Kyran Scott's playing, get a 5-man band. Expand the concept and rest on foreign lands. Sam Malone star, these bars are just blenders. Be who you are by sister transgender. Remember, everybody living got a soul. Life's too short and everybody gotta go. Ohio, Carolina, the rhymer is opposition. Came to move the crowd, devour the algorithm. Kick the mic stand and tower over the stage. Power undefeated, so treat it just like a sage.
Who is they when
The
you say?
teachers, the administrators, they love anything that is non-academic. There have been studies done of kids in schools and departments of education. They love anything that's non-academic when you get into role playing and all this kind of thing.
Live and direct, Mr. Scott in your ears. Telling the truth, we badly volunteer. I don't care how you feel, homie, who is you? Class session, this that middle finger, you. This that middle finger, you. We on that middle finger, you. Graduated top of the class, respect due. Class session, this that middle finger, you. In the cosine, the tangent is mathematical. Blessed with a gift to switch it on sabbatical. Killing with the flow, crypto, we changing roles. Invest in my mind and watching the stocks grow. G4 classified, Reagan economics. Suicide spores to sell it through hydroponics. Set the chronics mixed with something you never see. Garvey Black Star, let's sell it across seas. Independent artists, regardless, we stay focused. Carry over one, the Kyran is still quoting. Divide the principles by every lyrical syllable. Rebirth sleep, my planet is still diggable. The syllabic truth reduced the hypergamy. Fix the social order, distorted, you can't stop me. Graduated top of the class, respect due. Class dismissed, this that middle finger, you.
Praise is dumbing down. What's so ironic is the school is failing so miserably in what they're paid to do that they should take on this role of being social philosophers. A lot of these programs are really a substitute for hard work by the teachers. I mean, when I think of the teachers I had, they could not have cared less whether I felt good about myself.
Live and direct, Mr. Scott in your ears. Telling the truth, we badly volunteer. I don't care how you feel, homie, who is you? Class session, this that middle finger, you. This that middle finger, you. We on that middle finger, you. Graduated top of the class, respect due. Class session, this that middle finger, you.
The great problem with education throughout is that people are not accountable. They can run those schools to indulge themselves, whatever fare they like, or for whatever way they like to teach, and that goes all the way through to the colleges. Teachers have been a very organized group since the 1960s, and the National Education Association is all in favor of these crazy things that have been criticized here this morning by me and by others, so that they have, and in fact, that's what choice is all about, is about putting the parents and the taxpayers and the general public in charge and not allowing these little groups to create their own little fiefdoms where they do what they please regardless of what the rest of
Take this flight. Yeah, man, I'm getting out of here, bro. It's too hot around here, and I ain't really feeling the inspiration, you know?
Follow this vibe all the way to Tokyo. As long as they were the good ones, I would.
Here we go. Yeah.
Follow this vibe, long as it doesn't stir me
Put that
wrong.
vibe right there, man. Where we going, Kai? Where we going, Kai? Where we going? Where we going? Yeah. United Airlines, first class, Greensboro. I'm on the incline, shot glass, beach thorough. Evacuate the streets, the plane starts wheeling. Escape pocket lace, I need a new feeling. Breaking underground, yup, breaking glass ceilings. Poker face all the time, tell me what you're dealing. Kings in every suit, spades too, can't renege. Last Boy Scout, set the book, do a jig. Online rappers, you better go config. Global plan cheetah, you thinking at the crib. 16 hours, vibing all night. Kyran vaccinated, so I'm making this flight. Overseas, the cherish MCs with the heaters. Samurai DeLorean, we vibing two-seaters. Get my yang together, jumping from the bleachers. Yang when I touch down, Tokyo, I meet her.
Follow this vibe all the way to Tokyo. As long as they were the good ones, I would.
Take out what you wanna take out.
Follow this vibe,
right
long
now.
as it doesn't stir me wrong.
Time for the touchdown, baby. Let's get down. Now we on the ground, respect I bow down. Hit the Caillou, I need a new sound. Tell my Uber driver, I wanna feel the art. Travel downtown to the shrine in the park. Going to the water room, strictly for creators. I wanna see the hot spots, vibing with the natives. We in that battle mode with that real MC. I wanna feel the energy, rapping Japanese. See me on the stage, rocking from the heart. Forget I'm American, it's all about the spark. Centuries of living, thousands of dynasties. Respect black samurais, African philosophy. Sail from the motherland, settle to the east. Feel a soul every time we walking through the street. Been about a week, we flying back home. Tokyo, I'm gone. Welcome back home.
Follow this vibe all the way to Tokyo. As long as they were the good ones, I would. Follow this vibe, long as it doesn't stir me wrong. Don't leave me aimless, wandering. Don't
Hopefully you're enjoying this adult contemporary hip hop. It's the homie Kyran Scott. Make sure you check out that album. Again, I got all of the links posted down in the description. Getting back to our box, you see that we finished building out the box. Now I'm putting the linseed oil on there. I just kind of brush it on there pretty liberally. Make sure I cover all of the surfaces, all of the edges, all of that good stuff. It's a good protectant of your wood, a natural protectant of it from when you're going to have it outdoors. Just, kind of one of those, just one of those things that you use, one of those oils you use to protect all your outdoor woods. But it's not anything extremely chemical or toxic. It's more natural. So I'll put that on all of the sides of it that are going to be facing the outside. I'll actually come back and put the fabric on the inside, so you'll see that in a little bit. But this right here is showing you kind of before and after. You see the after on the right and the before on the left. So that's what it looks like with the linseed oil on there. So I'll continue to go ahead and brush it around on the other sides. We'll get the box back down into place, get the linseed oil brushed around on the other sides, jump back into some more music right here.
All right, so as you can see, we have our box complete. We've added put the linseed oil on it, so it's protected, naturally protected. Just did that on the outsides. I'm actually gonna run this fabric barrier that you see on the insides. And it's a deep box, probably about 25 to 27 inches deep. So instead of filling the entire box with soil, I'm gonna put some sticks down in the bottom of it, so it takes up some of the space and that'll naturally break down over time and provide good nutrients to our soil. So let's get to it.
Right place, role play, perfect strangers when we up in here. Hit me star 21 when the coast is clear. Feel your elegance, cocoa butter, move with it. Take another slip, now we playing good music. I see you in that dress, yeah, you tearing it up. Let me get fly, Coco, let me roll up this Dutch. The dream's now real, we in the spotlight. No more wishing, competition got us feeling right. Your sales going off, don't answer it. It's the label calling, don't worry, I handle it. Grabbing the window, breaking every window frame, biting the pillow, and everywhere you say my name. If paradise exists, what's the climate? Hotel rooms at high noon, the perfect.
I'm not going to bore you with watching me install the rest of the fabric barrier. This is what a finished product looks like after the fabric barrier is installed. So you can see I've stapled it in there around all of the sides and down on the bottom. I'm getting ready to come back and add in my media, but just putting that fabric barrier around there so it's my sticks and everything are not touching directly on my outside layer. Just give it a little bit of a barrier between that wood there. I'm adding some sticks in to just take up some space. Those will break down and biodegrade over time and actually add some pretty good nutrients to the soil down there beneath. If I do have anything that the roots get down that deep, they'll have some good nutrients down there once those sticks break down in the soil. So that's a good thing. So just add a few sticks down in there. Like I said, it's just so I don't have to use a ton of soil in there. The more sticks, that take up room and everything, and that's that really deep stuff. So not very many of my roots are going to be getting down that deep anyways. But if anything does get down there, by the time it does get down there, those sticks will be broken down pretty well in the soil. The nutrients in the soil will be nice and good down there once they get broken down. So it's something you can keep in mind if you are building a deeper planter box. You can put things like sticks. If you want it to drain better, you use rocks. You see that I'm using the Daddy Pete's raised bed mix. That's what I'm putting in on top of the sticks. I actually put 2 bags of this in there on top of the sticks. Again, that's the Daddy Pete's raised bed mix. I have it also, the video's moving in a faster speed, so it doesn't take as long for you, of course. So I did 2 bags of the raised bed mix, of the Daddy Pete's raised bed mix. Now I'm getting ready to put on some of the Daddy Pete's mushroom compost. I'm putting that on top of the raised bed mix. The raised bed mix probably came to about the halfway point of the bed. This mushroom compost will do a nice little layer, probably good about 3-inch layer or so. Across the whole bed. Those bags are smaller than the raised bed mixed soil bags, so I did use the entire bag, but again, like I said, it probably did about a nice 3-inch layer or so across the entire bed. And then I'm going to come back with 1 more bag of soil. This is the Daddy Pete's potting mix, and this here is good for pretty much everything: shrubs, flowers, vegetables. It's good for just about everything. So since we plan on planting a mixture of things in this bed, I wanted to go with that on the top, since it does work with, like I said, flowers. It works with shrubs. It works with vegetables. We'll probably use some flowers and some vegetables in this bed. So this is going to be perfect mixture for us here. All right, so just like that, we have our finished product. We have our box made out of plywood. We had scrap plywood. We used some 2x4s for the frame, but the rest of it's scrap plywood. You see, we've just built the box. It fits around this corner. After we built the frame, we just built the box from the top of the frame. Added our liner. Added our soil. Saw that in the video. This is where we have this finished product. We'll plant some, probably gonna do a little bit of everything in here, probably a little bit of flowers, and also some maybe herbs, maybe some vegetables. We're just gonna figure out what kind of things go well together, throw them all in there together, have it, just grow together amongst each other. One to be protecting the other. They'll be able to create canopies for one another, maybe even cross fertilize, things like that. So we're going to just do some experimenting like we always do, but we do a little bit of research before we do any experimenting, so not going to do anything to try to steer you wrong. That's just where I had the bag on there, so that'll wipe away. But there it is. Like I said, finished product. You can build anything. All you need is a box. You build a box, put some good soil in it, and put a seed in that soil, and you'll be on your way to growing whatever you want for you and your family as well. So make sure you don't sit around waiting, because the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take for that seed to mature and for you and your family to be eating on whatever it is that you all like. Get after it, good people. It's Iceberg. Salute.
Now, as they say in your country, let us be out.